Greetings and welcome to another episode of Trippy Food. Today we are on a quest. We are on a quest to find all the filming locations, or most of them, of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Now, one of the things that people might not know about me is that Pee-wee's Big Adventure is one of my favorite films. And so finding the locations of where they are filmed, to me it's like going to Mecca. And you might call me crazy, but I know you are, but what am I? Let's go find Pee-wee! Well, naturally, our first stop is going to be Pee-wee's house. So here we are in South Pasadena, California. And this was obviously the exterior of his house. The interior scenes were most likely filmed in the studio at Warner Brothers. But this was his house at the time. Now, in later years, they had a white picket fence going around this. This house was painted red for Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But I think there was some sort of disagreement with the owners of the house at the time, because actually somebody was living there. And there was some disagreement with them about painting it back afterwards. It wasn't painted back. It was formerly white, and now it's kind of a yellow color, so I think it's been repainted even since then. And it looks like they're in the process of renovating it right now, because there's paper in the windows. They're probably doing some painting and some renovations inside. So again, remember, this is a private residence. So if you decide to come, and this is the case with any movie site, any movie filming location, if you decide to come and check them out, please respect the people that live there, as it is a private residence, and just kind of check it out from afar. Pee-wee's not in there. There's nothing to see in there. But let's move on. Let's find something else. Okay, this is a little embarrassing. So I got a little lost coming from my first location to the second location. I ended up in front of this house here. So I went to the door. I knocked on the door and I said, "Excuse me, can you please give me directions to the next location?" And this guy, some doctor, Dr. Brown, he just starts yelling, "Great Scott!" and he runs into the garage over there. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to find it on my own. We're now in front of Grand Central Air Terminal in Glendale, California. This was opened in 1929 as an airport, but it's been closed for decades. It's now owned by Disney. They've renovated the inside. I think they have offices in there, but they also do some filming in there. And it has not been an airport in decades, but it is where Pee-wee called Dottie in the movie. So the thing about this particular airport is that prior to LAX opening up, or prior to Lockheed being converted to an airport over at Bob Hope Airport in Burbank, this was the way in and out of Hollywood for actors, industry people, etc. So this was one of the busiest airports in this area, starting in the late 1920s, early 1930s, and moving onward until those other airports opened. So now we're probably as far east as they've filmed for Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Now I know you're going to say that there was the Alamo. They did some external scenes at the Alamo in Texas, but this is as far east as they actually did any filming. So right now we're at the Cabazon Dinosaurs. So the Cabazon Dinosaurs were built by Claude Bell. They started in 1964. They didn't finish one until 1975 or so, and the other one wasn't finished till the 1980s. But there are two dinosaurs outside here. I'm a little bit disappointed because I've been here many times before, and it seems like now they're painting them to be seasonal. They're actually painting clothes on the T-Rex that you can see behind me, Mr. Rex behind me. The Brontosaurus or Apatosaurus, whichever is more technically accurate, actually has a gift shop in the stomach, so you can walk up the back tail into the gift shop. And it used to have murals around the outside, around the inside of evolution. But because the people that bought the dinosaurs on the property now have a kind of a creationist museum, they no longer align themselves with evolution, and so they've painted over those. But you know, you can still get dinosaur souvenirs and stuff in there. It's still kind of cool. Right now, we are in the belly of the beast. So we are in Denny, the Apatosaurus. And Claude Bell started building these dinosaurs back in 1964. At the time, there really wasn't anything here at all except the Wheel Inn. And he built the dinosaurs as kind of a way to get people to come into the Wheel Inn. Well, the Wheel Inn is long since closed. It's been torn down probably about since 2013. The Wheel Inn in Pee-wee's Big Adventure was the place where Large Marge had dropped him off. It was the diner where Large Marge had dropped him off. And the movie made these dinosaurs probably famous because although the dinosaurs were in other movies and TV shows and even music videos, they really were focused in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, whereas he went inside the Tyrannosaurus. I'm not sure if it was actually in the Tyrannosaurus. So right now, the dinosaurs were sold by Claude Bell's family, and it's now a creationist museum. They have some animatronic dinosaurs, and then if you pay admission to the museum, then you can go inside the T-Rex. Other than that, it's just a place where you stop on I-10 and come into the dinosaurs. This is one of the first times I've actually been inside the T-Rex in the dinosaur's mouth. And so the thing was, on Pee-wee's Big Adventure, there was like a couch and everything set up, but it didn't look like this at all. So I'm pretty sure that when they were sitting inside the T-Rex's mouth, it was a Hollywood set. So this is probably the farthest east Pee-wee's Big Adventure filming location. Okay, well right now we're kind of across the street from what was Francis's house. This is on 4th Street in Los Angeles. This is south of Hollywood. And I was thinking, like, from the outside, it didn't look like, it just looked like a big house, you know, what served for a big house in LA, but it actually goes back pretty far. Now it's really hard to see any of the property here because it's overgrown with trees in the front, all around the sides of it, so it's really difficult to see. But this was the house where they filmed Francis, or it was Francis's house, where he had actually kept Pee-wee's bike. So not much to see here, and remember, this is again private property, so you know, please don't climb the fence, don't try to get to the house or anything else. Besides, it's Francis's house anyways. So let's move on and try to find our next site. Okay, now I'm in Santa Monica, California, and I'm at 3rd Street Promenade. 3rd Street Promenade is kind of like a pedestrian mall. There's shops, restaurants, and everything on the sides. It's a great filming location because you can just shut down the mall and then just you know, shoot whatever you need to shoot, and it looks like a strip mall. So this is where they filmed a lot of things, but one of the things they filmed here is parts of Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So this large building behind me, this was the magic shop. So he would have parked his bike right out front of the magic shop. Now, down this way a little bit, where Sunglass Hut is where Chuck's Bike-O-Rama was. So yeah, he just chose this place because it was easy to film. You could just close off the street and do some filming. So it's off to, what did you say, Speck? You said your name's not Speck, it's Doodle? Okay, thank you. Okay, behind me is the arena. You might not recognize it. We're at the Pomona Fairgrounds, and or the where they have the LA County Fair, and that arena served as where the rodeo was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And if you don't believe me, the stars at night are big and bright. Okay, right now we're in Santa Clarita, California, and the reason that we're here is because we're here at the Halfway House Cafe. Now, you probably don't know it as the Halfway House Cafe from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You probably remember it as the Apache Bar, where he had his last request, did the shoe dance, the whole thing. I'm trying to make a phone call. You know, that whole thing? So this place has been around for a long, long time. They opened up in the early 1900s. It was originally a trading post for the Antelope Valley and Los Angeles and the areas in between. And then in 1931, it actually opened up as a cafe. So it's always been a cafe here since 1931. So when they filmed Pee-wee's Big Adventure, they filmed it inside. They said that they think that the bar has always been in there. So the counter that you sit at is where all the action takes place. Maybe they set something up, but most of the people in there right now don't remember. They weren't here when they actually filmed it. And then across the street, it looks like there's no billboard over there, so I imagine they just set one up so that he could ride his bike into it. Thanks for the bike feeds. So if you come out here just to check out the Pee-wee's Big Adventure filming location, why not have a bite to eat? Because it is a full service cafe, and so they have everything you would expect a cafe. They have breakfast all day. They have sandwiches, soups, burgers. So I saw on the menu that they had a bison burger, or they call it the buffalo burger, and I thought, why not? I'm here. I'm gonna have the buffalo burger. So it was very good. Had the buffalo burger. So when you come out here to check it out as a Pee-wee's Big Adventure filming location, you might as well stop in and eat as well. Okay, right now I'm at the San Fernando Mission. The actual name of it is Mission San Fernando Rey de España, which is Mission San Fernando King of Spain. And this was the 17th of the 21 California missions. This was originally founded in the 1790s, and then it eventually became secularized, but in 1860 went back to the Catholic Church. So now it's an operating church, but they also have a museum. And you're probably wondering, like, what does this have to do with Pee Wee Herman that I'm at the San Fernando Mission? Well, if you can tell, I don't know if you can tell from behind me, but this is where Pee Wee's tour of the Alamo started. So they didn't actually film at the Alamo, they actually filmed here. In the movie, there's a scene at the beginning where Pee Wee goes running into the Alamo. That was actually shot in front of the Alamo, but everything else was filmed here in the San Fernando Mission. So we're gonna take a tour, and we're gonna see if there's a basement, and we're gonna see if we can find the bike. So we're in the Bob Hope Garden, and Bob Hope's final resting place is here. So only Bob Hope would have a memorial or a final place of rest that looks like a stage. But there he is, and his wife. In memory of the 2,425 Native Americans interred in the cemetery between 1797 and 1852. If that doesn't tell a story. Okay, this is the first stop. This is the Historical Museum, and there's a bunch of exhibits of the history of the mission. Apparently that's what it used to look like. So this mission in 1971 during the San Fernando earthquake was destroyed, and then within a few years they had completely rebuilt it. So this was completely destroyed in the 1970s. Now, because there were Native Americans working at the mission, they had a lot of Native American artifacts here. Oh, come on, that's a cigar store Indian. Okay, this is inside the Mayordomo's house. The Mayordomo would have been the foreman of the mission. He actually ran things here. You would think they lived pretty well here. Okay, this is the convent. And for those who don't know what a convent is, that's where the nuns lived. So this is the library, and my God, these books are old. They look like they're falling apart. This is an old pipe organ, and those pipes are pretty much beat to crap. Here's the bishop's room, nice digs. So apparently this was a fireplace where they smoked meats, and they brought them up these stairs. Don't those look comfy? And the governor's room. Now, honestly, I'm a little disappointed that there's no guided tour like there was in the movie. Because where's the woman to say, they called it maze? They do have the fencing, though. Oh my God, guys. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Guys, there's a basement at the Alamo. Well, there's a basement at San Fernando Mission. And this was their wine cellar. So this is, I don't see a bike, do you? No bike down here. That looks like a still. I don't think that has anything to do with wine. Damn. There's a basement here. That's funny. They could have actually filmed at a basement in the Alamo. Because there's a basement down here. So, who knew? Well, I hope you enjoyed our big adventure, and I hope it was a fitting tribute to Paul Reubens, the man who brought Pee Wee Herman to life through the magic of Hollywood. Pee Wee went on a cross-country adventure without leaving the confines of Southern California. And you could do the same if you're out here. So, you'd make yourself a nice list. There were some other places we didn't go to, and that's most likely because they're not here anymore. So, the drive-in theater closed in the 1990s, and it was eventually torn down to make way for apartments. There might be a few other places we've forgotten, but I think we have pretty good coverage of the filming locations for Pee Wee's Big Adventure. So thank you, Paul Reubens, for the memories. And it would be nice if you could have seen this, but see it, you lived it. Anyways, if you get out there to check out these sites, just remember that it's crazy out there, so please be careful. Take care of yourselves, take care of others, and we'll see you soon! Thanks for checking out Trippy Food. If you enjoyed watching that video half as much as I did making it, well then I enjoyed it twice as much as you did. And if that's the case, you'll probably like this video right here. And if not, check out this video right here. That one's a little bit different. Either way, leave a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe by clicking on the Trippy Food icon right here. Glad you could make it, and we hope to see you again soon.